Well, Jackie Walker is joining us now live from the scene in Cheektowaga where folks are continuing their cleanup tonight. Jackie, what's it like?
Well, Bob, it isn't often that I can reach up and touch the top of a garage, but I can do it tonight here at 375 Cherokee, where Bill Deschanes watched this afternoon as the tornado hit his backyard. Heidi Kidd will be talking to him in just a moment. But first, we want to take you up in the sky and give you a clear picture of the damage caused by this twister. From the air, you can follow the tornado's path as it roared across homes in the area of Cherokee Drive and George Urban Boulevard, peeling off the roofs of houses and tossing trees. It skipped its way to the west of Union Road behind the Putt-Putt Golf and Games. Then police say many people watched it coming.
Came across Union, struck the restaurant here. Then it made a turn to the south, went down about a block or so, and just disappeared.
In those moments before the tornado raked across the Holiday Showcase restaurant, patrons inside got a good look at it.
Scared the hell out of me. It's pretty, the sound alone is unbelievable. It just, everything flying by. I've seen whole trees flying through the air.
After what seemed like hours, but was really just a few minutes, Cheektowaga residents began pouring into the streets to see what had happened. Debris was everywhere. Trees had pierced houses, and power lines snaked across roadways and curbs. But happily, the families who saw their first tornado on a hot Thursday afternoon in Cheektowaga were unhurt. Well, Heidi Kidd was out talking to those families this evening who had the shock of their lives. And Heidi, I think it's fair to say that people were stunned by what happened when we were talking to some of them, asked them their names and addresses. They couldn't remember their addresses, where they lived.
Yeah, that's right, Jackie. Now that residents are getting over the shock of today's twister, they've been busy cleaning up and they've been contacting their insurance companies. They're generally just trying to get back to normal. But given the extent of the damage at some houses, getting back to normal may take some time.
There's a roof right there.
And they are just happy tonight that there were no fatalities, Jackie. That's been the overriding thought.
Boy, we have heard some scary stories today from folks who were inside their home when that twister hit. But there were a lot of folks who were not in their homes when it hit. They were at businesses along Union Road, particularly in that Holiday Showcase restaurant where a lot of the patrons watched in horror as the twister came their way. And Wadi Sawabini has their story. Wadi?
Jackie, the Holiday Showcase restaurant has been a Cheektowaga landmark for years. This afternoon, this sign was advertising summer salads. As you can see, they now say, now playing Gone with the Wind. It will be a long time probably before this restaurant is open again. Reporting live from Cheektowaga, I'm Wadi Sawabini, News 4 Buffalo.
Thank you, Wadi. That probably is the best slogan of the day, Gone with the Wind. Take a look here at Bill Deschanes. This is part of his house. I'm standing in front of his garage, and his house is laying here. He's been picking it up even while we've been standing here. So, Bob, that's the scene as it looks here right now in Cheektowaga. And I know Don Paul has a little more to tell us about this tornado.
All right, Jackie, thanks very much. Well, joining us now is News 4 meteorologist Don Paul. Well, of course, eggs notwithstanding, our big story of the day was, of course, that tornado out in Cheektowaga. Now, Jackie, you're out there live once again to wrap it up for us today, but you were back in the studio watching some of the video with us as it was happening and as the home video came in, but you've had a chance to see it firsthand now. What's it really look like to you out there? Were you surprised at the amount of damage from what some people are calling not quite a tremendously large tornado?
Well, Bob, first I should point out that I came out here in the dark, so I wasn't able to get the big picture of the damage. But just from my vantage point here in the backyard of Bill Deschanes' house, there is a lot of damage, and everybody out here has a different story to tell about what happened to them. I just spent a few minutes talking to one woman who said she's still shaking tonight. She said she screamed when the tornado roared through, and she spent tonight walking up and down the road looking for chairs and other items that blew from her backyard. Still hasn't found them. Well, hers is one of hundreds of stories that Cheektowaga residents have to tell tonight after a day that they will never forget. Late in the afternoon of a hot, sunny summer day, the wind started blowing, and within minutes, homes and cars and trees were scrambled. And after the initial shock, it was time for the big cleanup to begin. Now, some people cried today, and others screamed, and others just shook their heads and dusted off their hands and started trying to make some order out of all of this chaos here. The power crews are still working tonight to restore power. Folks at the Ucrest Fire Hall are offering shelter tonight, but everyone everyone, despite the destruction you see, is giving thanks that the damage was only to property. And so, Bob, from the scene of the destruction, if we can leave you with any good news tonight, it's just that to our knowledge, there have been no reports of serious injuries.
Okay, Jackie, thanks very much.